Hello guys, welcome to today's exciting tutorial. We're going to look at 3D in After Effects CC. I have had requests of people asking me how can I create a 3D object inside of After Effects. The truth is that there are some third-party plugins you can use to create a wonderful 3D object, and also inside of the After Effects CC we now have the flexibility of using cinemaware to create our own 3D object. Now aside from that, also we can also create a real 3D test object inside of After Effects. So let's just look at how to do some of those things. I'm going to create a new comp just by clicking on this place. I think this is gonna work very much. Okay, 10 seconds. So here we want to just go to test. So let's type let's just type goal. Sorry. Okay, so I want to walk around the test, changing the font. I'm just gonna use area black. Okay, so we bump up the size a little bit. Now if you look at this is merely a 2D object. Let's just anchor this at the center, and it's not really 3-dimension. Let's create a solid. Bring the solid down. Now we can convert this solid to a 3D layer just by toggling on our 3D. You can see draft 3D, then we have the ability to toggle it on here just by toggling this. I'm going to toggle that, and immediately I toggle that, I'll be able to see some transformation in 3D over here in the orientation. So you can see I can bend this in. Whenever you see these three parameters, this means X, Y, and Z. So I can rotate this on any of these orientation. Okay, so let's just take this backward like that and probably click and drag it down. And we might want to change the color. Just select it, go to solid settings, and let's make that color a little bit so that we can see it. Now we can convert this one also. We can also convert it, go to a 3D layer. So it's now a 3D in space, so which means you can see the goal can actually penetrate through that particular solid we have. Okay, and also we can walk around with the transformation by changing the shape or slanting it anyhow we want it. But really this is not 3D goal or 3D test. So how do we get to make this to be 3D test? Now I must warn you that you have to have a good system, at least a system that has a dedicated graphics. With that you'll be able to do a lot of things with this. So if you don't have a good system, you can still follow along. It's just that most of the time it's going to take time to render this out. So for us to actually make this a 3D object, you know what, let's just add a light. Maybe we just add a normal spotlight in the scene. So we can just drag this light somewhere here and take it up a little bit. Okay, we want the light to cast shadow. We just come over to this place, cast shadow. So we want to turn that on. Then we want this test to receive shadow. Under your material option you can toggle up the test to cast shadow. Then the same thing with the shape. Cast shadow is off, just turn that on as well. Accept shadows should be on. Alright, so let's come over to the light and increase the light intensity. You can see So by the time we have more light, you can see we are beginning to see the shadow and the way this is casting its shadows. So just for you to take note of that. Then we want to bring down the text a little bit. Also rotate the text. Okay, so just take note of that. I want this to really touch this place. Let me just rotate it a little bit. You can see I'm really rotating this in 3D space, just like you would in other applications. Okay, this position is good. I can select this one and put it there. Maybe raise it up a little bit, then scale it. Okay, another thing I can do is to create a new solid. Just throw these things close. Don't forget where we are heading to. We want to create a 3D, so we just take this solid down. Okay, now on this other one we can mask it. We can just use our pen tool to mask. In order for us to okay, so let's go ahead and feather the mask. You can feather it, mask feather. Expansion. Okay, so that's what we want, so that this will blend in with the background we have. All right, now to do this, we are going to click on our renderer and change this from classic to ray trace. Now you're going to get this warning telling you that the ray trace 3D renderer enable extrusion, refraction, environment layer, curves, and so on and so forth. The following features will also be disabled: things like blend mode, track mattes, layer style. So something for you to be aware of when you are doing this. I'm going to just click OK to take a little bit for the system to process that. So this is where having a good system will come in handy for you to work with. Okay, all right, now that we've enabled ray trace for that, we can click OK. Alright, so you can see my view now is really, the scene is really jagged, and I can change this to full resolution. It will take a while to process it. So when you are working on full, it's gonna be okay. So let's just turn it back to quarter. Another thing you might want to is to use an adaptive resolution so that this will actually render out very fast. Now because we've enabled that, we have option of other options here like reflection, refraction intensity, metal, and so many other things, index of refraction. A lot of things are now here, but the one we are looking for is under the geometry option. So we have the option of extrusion depth. So by the time we click and drag that, so you can see now we are beginning to have a real 3D test. So as a matter of fact, I'm gonna just give this, instead of pure white, something a little bit mixed with white. So you can see we now have this test in this format. Now if we go ahead and rotate this text. Let's just come to the orientation. So if we rotate this text like this, you can see we have it in 3D. It's having depth, and it's something we can work with. You understand? You can keyframe all these things and animate it the way you want to animate it here in After Effects. Then if you also want to add preset or animation preset to it, it will work just fine. Let's just look at the full resolution. You can see the text is very nice and crisp. It's looking nice for you to see. I believe you've learned something today. Now under the effect and preset, I can add any of the text effects, maybe under the 3D text. So we can just look for, there is one that is my favorite, espresso. Where are you? Something express. I can't really find it, but you can just look for it on your own. I'm just gonna come over to test and press the tilde key to maximize this. Let's go to 3D, rotate, twist, animate in. Okay, under expression, let's see if it's there. It's not there. Okay, I can't really find it now, but we can use another one. So let's just use another one. Let's apply this 3D camera fly. So let's just use a quarter, and let's change this to draft. That will actually make things a little bit faster. So you can see the that the text effect is applying to it. You can see that, so it's really applying to it. So by the time we render this, it's gonna look just fine, and we can put camera and stuff and do a lot of things with this. We can even change the color of this text, and maybe we want to use ramp. We can just add ramp to it. Then we can pick some colors here and probably make this a little bit, choose a different color. Okay, you can just do a lot of things that you want to do. You can see, so whatever you want to do, you can easily do that. Okay, and I want to change the color of the text. All right, good. So what we need to do now is, since we can't preview this because I'm recording it, I'm going to render it out and show you the final thing, so that you know how this works. And with this, you can do a lot of things on your own. You can create some 3D text, 3D element in After Effects, but it's just that it will take time if you don't have a fast machine, and you incorporate it in your project and work with it. I believe you've learned something today. Do not hesitate to leave your question in the description box below, and if you have any specific question you want to ask me, you can also do that by leaving your comments below in the description box. If you like this video tutorial, do subscribe to this channel and give us thumbs up and share the video. Thank you for watching. Bye.